So we were looking into this services, right? So services, let's try to do the recap what we have studied in the last class. So what is service? Service is an application class, okay, which runs in the background for indefinite time, and service does not necessarily run in background thread. It might run in main thread also. Then we have seen difference between how many types of services we have got: normal service or local service, then bound service, then remote service, then intent service. So one very important question, what is that difference between normal service and intent service? So what are the differences, tell me? Normal service can run in both the threads. It can run in main thread also, it can run in background thread also. And intent service always run in background thread. Okay. Normal service can cause ANR, and this one will not cause ANR. Why? Because it runs in background thread only. Then what we have seen, normal service can be started from both the thread, but intent service can be started from only main thread. You cannot start from your background thread. Okay. Then we have studied, intent service will stop itself whenever your task is done, but normal service will not stop. It will keep on working. And what is the last one we have seen? Yeah, on handle intent. Okay, there we don't have on handle intent normal. Okay, this any other thing which we have covered? Message queue, correct. Okay, and normal service does not have this message queue funda. So these are things. I hope this much only we have done. We will start from here. Yeah. So now that's what. What is service? Service is nothing but an application component which runs in the background for indefinite time. Okay. So I am telling not background thread. I am telling background. That means where it runs in background. Does not necessarily it will run in background thread. So what is the example of service? MP3 player. So which is the best example of service. Now, how to start a service? What is the method name? Start service. If you want to start a bound service, then what is the method? Bind service. Similar to this. Okay. And always whenever you are starting a service, it must be registered in your manifest.xml. So what is the tag name? Service is the tag. Okay, so let me create one service and run it. So I want to create one service. So how will I create? Tell me. Right click, new Java class. I want to create a service. So something I will give the name called my service. My service. Who is the superclass of service? Service. So you can type service. It is on. Okay, you want to have service, then you just service. Okay, so what happened? We created the service. Now automatically it will tell you to implement some abstract method. Alt enter, implement. Okay, so this is the mandatory method which you should have. Okay, yeah. Now similar to our activity, what is the activity life cycle? On create, on start, on resume, okay, then on pause, on stop, on destroy, on restart if it is starting from your stop. Okay, similarly here we are having on create, see, on create, then on start. When I try to do on pause, see, it is not coming. Why? Because service does not have on pause method. Okay, so service does not have. This is also a very important question which is very frequently asked. Okay, what is the question? First they will ask, do service have on pause or on resume method? Okay, what should be your answer? No. Why no? Because as we know, service always runs in the background, and activity can run in background also, it can run in foreground also. So to distinguish those two state, we are having on pause and on stop. But service does not have this foreground state, so we don't require it basically. Got it, right? So that's why we don't have this on pause or on stop. So we don't. So no, service does not have this on pause and on resume method. Why? Because service always runs in background. Okay, there is no foreground. Okay, so it is of no use having those on pause and on resume, right? Because those will be used when it is going to background or maybe coming to foreground, some sort of thing. So that's why when we try to this, see, on pause is not there. When I do on stop, see, it is also not there. Okay, when I do on resume, it is also not there. So there is no on pause, on resume, or on stop. Okay, now let's try to do any other thing on destroy. Let's see, on destroy is there. Okay, so service life cycle is very simple. On create, then on start, then on destroy. Very simple. Okay, now we have created this service. Always whenever you are creating the service, you must register it in your manifest.xml. Okay, we will open our manifest.xml and parallel to activity. Okay, we have one of those called service. We will give the name. What is the name? My service, and finish it. Okay, so by default the service which we run, it is your local service. It will never be your background service, or maybe other service, which is other remote service which we discussed, right? So it will always be your local service. We'll discuss about that background service, sorry, remote service also sometime. Okay. Good night. Okay, so yeah, now in service we are having one of the tag called enabled. It's not mandatory, but you can make it true. True means it is enabled. False means it is not working. It will not work. Okay, yeah, now what we want to do, we want to start our service. So how to start? You must have some entry point. So how to get the entry point? You must have one button or something to start. Okay, so we'll create one button. We'll go here and create one button. So suppose I want to make it linear layout. Okay, I want to have one button. I will have this button. Suppose I want to have this match parent and wrap parent. I will have one ID, or maybe if you want to directly have one click, then you can write like this, on click method. to have the click listener of the button, and something like button clicked. So you can copy this method in your controller. Who is your controller? Main activity, public void this one, and what is the parameter we pass here? View. Okay, now on click of this button, what you want to do? You want to start the service. So how to start a service? What is the method name? Start service or bind service. So now we want to start the service. So always you want to start, first you must have intent. So how will you have the intent? Tell me. Intent equal to new intent. From where I am going? I am going from main activity. Okay, so main activity dot is to where you want to go? My service. Okay, my service dot class. Okay, if you want to start activity, what was the method? Start activity. If you want to start a service, what is the method? Start service. So start service, very simple. Start service, you pass the intent. Over. Now as soon as I will do start service, if you want to see what is the callback is coming, then we can have some sort of log dot I. What you pass to check the log dot I. Okay, and I will give the name, maybe I will give the name called test. Okay, and I'll give the callback of this also on create, just to see, I mean, where is that command. Okay, on start on start. What is this? Okay, so as soon as I will start, automatically it should call on create, on start, and on start. Okay, I'll have one more button called stop service. I will have text here. Similar to this, I will have one more button called stop service. I'll make it button click 1. I will create one more button here to have the click listener. What I'll do, I'll make it button click 1. Okay, now what you want to do? On click of stop service, you want to stop the service, so I will have one instance variable for this. I'll have an instance variable for this. Okay, and what is the method to stop a service? Stop service. Got it, right? So on click of the second button, we will stop the service. On click of the first button, we will start the service. So we will run this code. Now we want to see the output also, right? Okay, so how to see the output? You can go here. You can go here, and what is the tag name we have given? Test. So we have to create the filter also for this. Tag name is your test. So you have to create the filter. We will create how to create a filter. Right here, click, then edit filter configuration. Test is the one which I want to create. I will create this test. I mean, similar to the activity life cycle which we have created right last time. So similar to this variable. So test may be very common, so we can change it to something else. Okay, let it go. and we will run this code. So let it be run, then we will see what is the callback. Okay. Okay, so it came up start service. Where is stop service? We did not create or what? Oh no, we have to make our orientation as vertical. By default, what is your orientation? Horizontal. So only this one will happen. Now both of the buttons should come. Okay, so ultimately start service. So when I click on the start service, what should happen? It should start the service. So when I click on this, see here, where is your log? Why nothing is coming? What is running maybe? Main activity, button clicked. Are we calling button click? Button clicked. Oh. Are we missing something? We are not able to see this. No logs are coming. Yeah, it is coming. Okay, I will clear it to check properly. I will clear it, and I will first stop this. Okay, I will run it first. So observe very closely. I mean how those life cycle will come. Okay, so observe very closely. When I click on the start service, what is happening? What is coming? Tell me. On create, then on start. Got it, right? So what is the callback which is getting called? On create, then on start. So this is your life cycle. On create and on start. So if we will go to our this one. So what is the one? On create and then on start. Okay. If I want to stop it, then let's open up. If I'll click on stop, what is coming? See, on destroy. So there is no other callback. What is the only callback? On create, on start, on destroy. Okay. Now try to understand. On create, on start, on destroy. Okay. Now suppose my service is running. What should be the state? On start. If activity is running, what should be the state? On resume. Got it, right? So on resume as the callback, but here we don't have on resume, it is on start. Yeah. So now tell me, what is the difference between activity and service? Yeah. So service can also run in activity can also run in background, right? Okay, so what the first difference? Activity will have UI. Activity will have UI, I mean XML or all things. Okay, service never have. Okay, activity will have UI, service will never have UI. Okay, what is the second difference? Activity will have callback called on pause, then on resume or on stop. This will be all will be coming inside your activity, but service does not have this callbacks. Okay, what is the third difference? Try to understand. Okay, so by default, if you will start one activity and suppose callback is on create, on start, on resume. So what is the current state of your activity? On resume. Now by default, if we create activity once again, I mean if we do start activity once again, then what method we will call here? Tell me. It will call on create. It will call on create. By default, I mean on create of your other activity. I mean on pause and whatever things will be there. I am talking about if you will recreate your activity, you will start activity once again. Then what is the method it will call? On create. Okay, but in case of service, if it is on create, then on start. Now if I will start this service once again, it will not create new service. It will keep on calling on start only. Got it? What are the difference I am talking about? So in case of activity, it will start once again, means on create will be called, but in case of service, it will not call on create, it will be in your on start only. Okay, so let's try to see here. I mean, okay, so now suppose I am over here, I am over there. I'll remove all these things. Okay, I've already started it. Okay, so I don't know this one is okay. Kill this. Okay, now if I will start it, so what should be service should come and say? What is the callback? It is coming say on start. It is not going to on create. No matter how many times I will keep on say, I am keep on clicking this. I am keep on clicking this on start. In case of activity, what it will call? It will call on create, but in case of service, it will not call on create. It will be on start only. Now, if I will call stop, what will happen? On destroy. On destroy. Now, if I will start, what will happen? It will go to on create. Got it, right? Because on destroy means your service got destroyed. Now, when you do on create, then it will go to on create. Let's try to do on create on start. Got it, right? So what I am going to say is, if one service is already started, it will work with the current instance. Okay, so that's what. See, it is keep on calling on start. It is calling keep on calling on start. Okay, so that's what we understood here. Okay, so if one service has started, okay, starting once again, we will call on start only. We will keep on calling on start until it's not destroyed. Until it is not destroyed. Okay, but by default activity will call on create. when we start once again. This is the difference. Okay, it seems like match is going to start in it will take time. So whatever broadcast channels are there, some problem, technical problem. Okay, so you understood, right? Any doubt over there? Okay, yeah. Now these are only things we have already learned. So what is a broadcast receiver? Broadcast receiver is an application class which listens to the broadcast which is getting fired from system level or customized one. System level means what are the broadcast? Battery, okay, battery low or maybe any other things. So these things we have already done. So now how to register a broadcast receiver? Register receiver is to do dynamically. If you want to do statically, what is the one? Receiver is your tag, which you have already done in your last class. Broadcast receiver, okay. And automatically whenever we will register the broadcast, if event will happen where the callback will come on receive method. Okay, now similar to that service registration, how it happens, we will use the service tag we have done now a bit earlier. And what is the tag name? I mean, in broadcast receiver we are having receiver is the tag name. Okay, yeah. So this we have already done. We have created one service. Okay, and this we have already seen how many types of broadcast receiver we have got: normal and ordered broadcast. So normal broadcast is nothing but asynchronous broadcast. Ordered broadcast will be a synchronous broadcast. Okay, so this thing we have already done in your last class. Okay, now let's try to do one very simple example which will help you out to understand, I mean, how service works. Okay, I'll come back to those things. This we have already done. Now we started one service and stopped those services. Okay, yeah. Now what I want to do is try to understand. I mean, this is the example. This is the example which we want to do. Okay, so I want to find how much time a people is spending in my screen. Okay, suppose I am the guy. Okay, I logged into someone's application. I want to see that person how much time he has spent in my screen, login screen or maybe home screen. Okay, so basically you want to calculate the time spent in a screen. So how will you do that? Okay, so if you want to do that, what you have to do? You have to have one edit text or text view where you want to show how much time he has spent. Whenever you want to work with your any of those assignment, how we start? We start from UI. So UI is very simple: one button and one text view. Okay, that's all. Yeah. Now we'll register our service similar to this which we have done a little bit earlier. Okay, and what we'll do is try to understand. We'll create one service. Okay, and why we'll create this service? This service will keep on looking that how much time you are spending in the screen. Okay, so now if you want to do that, you must have one background thread also, right, which will keep on calculating how much time you are spending. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll create one thread in our service. Okay, what is the thread name? See here in your onStart, because onStart is your current running method in your service. So in onStart method, what we'll do, we'll create one thread, okay, which will keep on calculating time. And how to get the time you spent? The time when you entered, okay, that is the start time. And what is the current time? Current time. So current time minus start time will be the time how much you have spent, right? So similar to this we will do. So whenever your thread will start, what will do? We will have the starting time. Whenever thread is stopping, what will do? We will make it to your stop time, and we will calculate the difference between those two. Okay. Now whenever we will get the time, what to do? We want to broadcast it into your screen, where you want to show in your screen. Okay. So what you can do? You can create one broadcast receiver. This will be your customized broadcast receiver, and you just use one of the method called send broadcast. Automatically you can get it. Where you will get it in your on receive method. Where is my on receive? There is the on receive, and you can get the time, how much you have spent. Got it, right? But broadcast receiver, if you are doing it, you must register it. So how to register it? You can use both. I mean static or dynamic. In this case, how we are registering? We are registering using what method? Register receiver is your method. Register receiver. Okay. Let's try to do this task. I mean, so what is the task which you want to do? Okay. Task. Calculate the time spent in activity. Okay, how will you start? We'll go to activity main. So activity main, it will be very simple. I'll have one text view, and what is another one? Button. No, so when I click on the button, I will start calculating my time. Okay, and I'll go here and we'll go to controller. Who is your controller? Main activity dot Java. Main activity Java. And what we'll do, we'll go to the method called onCreate. We'll go to the method called onCreate. Okay, and we want to start a service, right? So similar to the one which we have done, we'll do starting. So how will you start? Intent equal to new intent. Okay, main activity. What is the method name? Start service. Start service method name, and I'll pass anything. Okay. Now, whenever service will send the data, it will send it in your broadcast receiver, right? I have to create one broadcast receiver. Okay. So how to create it? Class. How to create a broadcast receiver? Time. You can give some name called time broad. Extends broadcast receiver. Automatically, what method will be called? Tell me in your broadcast receiver. On receive. The one which I have done last class. So on receive. Okay, now we go to our service. So what is the service name? My public class my service extends service. What is the method which we usually have in service? On start. On start means running service, right? So what we'll do, we'll create one thread which will keep on looking at the time. So thread equal to new thread. Automatically your runnable will be coming into picture. Okay, so new runnable. Okay, inside runnable, what method will tell me? Run method will be there. Okay, and we'll send the tick. I mean, whenever time will be ticking, I will send it to your screen, okay, to show it. Thread क्योंकि मतलब without thread you will not be able to calculate, right, how much time you are spending. Okay, correct. It will calculate the time, how much you are spending. So we'll get two time. One is start time, another is your end time. Okay. So how to get the time of your screen? How to get the time? Tell me. Long. Okay. You can see something like start time equal to, how to get a time? System dot current time in millis, right? Millis. It will give you the time, current time. Okay. And by default starting, what to do? You just make it tick. Tick means how much? So 0. By default it is 0. Okay. Now if you want to calculate the time, how will you calculate? Tell me. In your tick equal to, how will you calculate? Tell me. Current time. Okay. So system dot send minus start time. It will give you that time count. Okay. I want to loop it so that, I mean, we will come to know how many times we are looping it. Okay. So we will have one loop int I equal to 0. I is less than, maybe suppose I want to calculate till 30 minutes. Then how will you do? 30 milliseconds. So into 1000. Okay. This many times I want to check this. Okay. So 30 times we will do. I want to do, I mean, per second I want to send one. So 30 milliseconds. So 30 seconds basically. I'll do I plus plus. And as soon as I'll get tick, okay, I want to make my system as sleep. So how will you do? Thread dot sleep for maybe 1000. So what will happen? Your thread will be slept for 1 second, then again tick. 1 second sleep, tick, tick. 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 seconds. So in between I want to sleep, right? Then only you will be able to give the time to your main thread. Okay. So we are using this tick. Yeah. Now as soon as you will get the tick, you want to send it to your broadcast receiver. So how will you do? You have to create one intent equal to new intent. Okay. And you have to give this intent filter here. Suppose I will give the intent filter called tapas. If I am using tapas, then what will happen? While registering that broadcast receiver also I have to use tapas only. So how will you do? How will you register your broadcast receiver? Here on create, go here, and how to register broadcast receiver? Tell me. Register receiver. Register receiver is the tag by which we will do. And if you want to register it, time broad equal broadcast equal to new time broad, we will pass it. Okay. And we will register this broadcast receiver, and we have to pass the intent filter. So I will give the name called tapas. Okay. Now automatically whenever I will send tick, so I want to send the tick. So how will you send it? Tell me. Intent dot put extra, or if you tick is a long, right? So you can have long or double extra. Okay. And here you can pass something like tick. What you pass, you will pass a tick. And you want to send this broadcast, right? So what is the method name we are having? Send broadcast. Send broadcast is the method by which you can send it. And how to pass, we just pass. As soon as it will get the time, it will send the broadcast. Where you will catch it? You will catch it on receive method, and you want to show it in your text view or edit text, right? So you will show something like edit text dot set text. Hello. Hey Prakash ji, I am in class. So any urgency? Yeah. Oh, okay. Any urgency? Okay, sure. Okay. So edit text dot set text. Okay. We want to get the time first. So how will you get the time? Tell me. If it is a double, then double equal to. Already here this intent will come. Okay. So time. So intent dot get extra. You have to pass this get extra. You have to do, because here what to do? You have to do put extra. Here we are doing put extra, right? So while catching it in your broadcast receiver, whatever you do, you have to get extra. It can be long or whatever things are there. Okay. And you have to pass the key. Which intent? This intent will be coming here as a part of our on receive. On receive always have two things. One is called context. Okay, another will be your intent. Intent will be nothing but this data. Intent. You can say this is a data. So this from here you have to get it. Okay. As soon as you will get it, just show it in your. That's all. Simple as that. Okay. Only tricky thing here is send broadcast. When you send broadcast, it will catch it here and you will show it. That's all. Okay. What you want to show, you will put it over there. Let's try to do this. Okay. So where is it? Where is working? So let's try to follow our things. What we are doing. We'll start from here. We'll go to our activity. We already have this text view, so I will give one ID. Okay, something like time spent. I have to do find view ID. I will go to this and private. Always it should be private. Text view. Time spent. Find view ID I will do. Time spent equal to find view ID. R dot ID dot time spent. Okay. Time spent. Okay. You want to start a service also. So instead of you will start the service here only, because as soon as your activity will be started, I want to capture the time. So I will do this and start it. From here only I will start. Okay. I want to have broadcast receiver similar to this. I mean the one which we have discussed now. This is the broadcast receiver. So we will create one broadcast receiver. So how to create it? Class time broadcast extends broadcast receiver. On receive method. Okay. Now it's not about only, I mean, starting a broadcast receiver, you must register it, right? So how to register it? Tell me. Register receiver. You have to pass the broadcast receiver. So you can make it as an instance variable. So private time broadcast. This is your register receiver. This is your broadcast receiver. With that you have to pass that intent also, right? Okay. So new intent filter. Okay, and you pass this tapas. You can give any name. I mean, so you have to pass this here. Register receiver. So you register this broadcast receiver. Similar to this when we are trying to get the battery information, right? So we had done this. If you remember. Okay, we'll go to our service where we are running. Here I'll go and I'll create one thread which will keep on calculating how much time I am spending. So thread equal to new thread. If I want to have runnable, then new runnable. I'll put it inside, and I want to get the time. Okay, so how to get the start time? Here is the place. So long start time equal to, how will you get the start time? System dot, what is the time name? Tell me. Sorry, not the system. Sorry, I should check. System unit, right? System, you have to use a Java one, java.lang. Okay, system dot current times in milliseconds. So it will give you the current time in milliseconds. Okay, you will have this time spent also, right? So by starting, what should be the time spent? 0. 0 will be your starting time. Okay, you want to calculate how much time is you have spent. How will you calculate? Tell me. Time spent equal to, what to do? Current time minus start time. Okay, so system dot current time minus start time. So it will give you the time spent. Now, as because you are running server one service, right? So you have to hold your thread for some time. Then only you should send your next time. Okay. So how to make it hold? Thread dot sleep. So basically, I want my thread to sleep for 1 second. I will make it thread sleep. Server will try catch. Automatically it will come. Okay. After 1 second, I want to send the time to my broadcast receiver, right? So how to do? What is the method name? Send broadcast, and it will pass. It will ask for the intent. So get this intent. Just create this intent, and you have to create this intent. So make an intent. Sorry, intent 1. Suppose this is intent 1. Okay, you have to create it. So how to create intent 1? Okay, you have to pass the filter. So in new intent, what you have to pass? You have to pass the same filter what you have used for the creation of your registration. Okay, so you have to use the same intent filter. So if it was tapas, then I will use tapas. So this is the intent filter by which different broadcasts will be uniquely identified. So try to have some unique name which is not there in other cases. Any name. Suppose if I want to have A, B, C, D, then there also you have to give A, B, C, D. Both names should match. Then only your broadcast receiver will be able to catch that intent. Otherwise, it will not be able to catch it. Okay. And what is the data you want to send? You want to send the time spent, right? So we will have something like intent 1 dot. What will you do? Put extra. So try to search. Do we have put long extra? It is not there. Okay. So put, suppose, string extra. I'll you can have extra also, no problem. You just pass put extra. Okay. What is the key you want to give? Suppose my key is time spent. Okay. And I want to make it as a string. So how to make it a string to a long? Just append with your string, it will become a string. So what we have done? We have done empty plus this one means it will become a string. Long will become a string. So this thread will do sending broadcast. Who will catch it? Your broadcast receiver will catch it. So this is the one which will catch it. And from here you want to catch the time. So how will you catch the time? String time spent equal to, you want to catch the time, right? So how to do? Intent get string extra. Why? Because you are passing as a string, right? So you have to give this get string extra. And what is the key I have to pass? Tell me. Time spent is the key. Because put extra you are done with your time spent. I have to do this time spent over here also. And by default, if you want to have some string, so I will make it like this. So again, I don't think it is required, but yeah. So we go to time spent. As soon as you will get the time spent, you want to show it in your UI, right? So we have to do. We have already done this time spent. So time spent. How to set it? Set text. Why it is not coming? Time spent is not an. What is it? Okay, sorry. Time spent. There are two time spent. Okay, so I can make it to this dot to resolve our shadowing. Okay, so we will set even though it is not coming. Why it is not coming? I'm not sure. Okay, so let's try to give some other name. Na? This one is time spent 1. So time spent dot set text. What does time spent 1. So I have given 2 variable, and I will give the name called you have spent this much. You can have something like second in our string. Okay, so this is the way how you can get your time basically. Okay, now this looping you can change depending upon your requirement. If you want to make this loop, where is my loop? We did not make it loop, right? So you have to create one loop also here, which will keep on getting the time. Okay, so how will you loop? For loop int I equal to 0. For how long you want to calculate? You can less than, suppose I want to calculate till 1000 second. Okay, then what to do? I plus plus. Okay, and I'll keep on passing this data to your broadcast table like this. It will keep on sending, the broadcast table will keep on receiving it, and it will show it. Okay. Match started. 45. Okay. Okay, so see here, it didn't come. Do we have any problem? Let's check once again. So here 200. Okay, so we have created this thread, but we did not start it, right? We must start this thread also, na? So how to start a thread? Tell me. Thread dot start. This one which we are missing, huh? Okay, so but even though it did not come, so let's check. Any idea which something we missed, or I don't think anything which we missed. Dialog box. Which one? नहीं what you say, I mean यहीं पे दिखा रहा है ना, just showing here only. Okay, ये ना text view hello world के यहाँ पे. Okay, so That's what time spent. We have done this. Okay, we are register receiver. We have done. We are registering. Okay, this is the register receiver. Oh, we did not create the object of register receiver, right? So how to create the object? What is the one? Time broadcast. Okay, time broadcast. How to create the object? New operator. So new time. Okay. Yeah. Now it should come. We have registered it, time broadcast. Okay, the intent filter, it will go, it will start this service, it will keep on sending the time. Okay, after each second it will have it, it will receive it, and it will show it in. Yeah. Okay, see here, this is the time, I mean how much second you are spending, it will keep on showing. Okay, so if you want to show in minutes, then how will you do? Tell me. If you want to show in minutes, how to do? This is your in your second. You have to convert divide by 60. Okay, then what will happen? It will become minutes basically. Okay, so we will run 1 second. From fresh.
So our minute.
Anything. You can do that. You can calculate. Okay, so what happened? 1 second. There is some problem, it seems. What? 1000. Okay, it is coming in millisecond. Okay, so right, so it should be a millisecond. Okay, so if you want to show it in your second, then what you have to do? From here only, time spent divided by 1000. 1000 if you do, it will become your second. Okay, so what to do? Time spent equal to time spent divided by how much? 1000. Then what will happen? It will become your second now. Okay, now it will become second. Because this time will be calculated in millisecond, right? So we are not dividing, so it should be fine. Yeah. 1 second, 2 seconds, and it will keep on giving you a second. So if you want to work with the minute, then you have to make this time as minute. minute. तो here only ना, I mean.
So इसको partition कैसे करेंगे कि days, hour, minutes, seconds?
That you have to calculate ना. Okay. So जैसे मान लें कि this is your millisecond, right? So divided by 1000 will become your. It becomes second now. Okay. Now divided by 60 will give me the minute. Right. So if you want to have minute, then what to do? This time spent equal to time spent divided by 60. It will give me the minute.
Hour
फिर 60. फिर से divide minute. 1 hour equal to your होगा ना 60. So time spent divided by 60. It will give you the hour. Then time spent equal to time spent divided by hour, right? So 24 hour equal to 1 day, right? Okay, so 24 hours. So it will become your day. Then month and all of this. I mean you have to calculate mathematics. That's what. Okay. So ultimately this is the one which will give you a second. So we calculate like this. So same thing. I mean the one which is there now, we have done it. Okay, so practice this and we will see. So next chapter what we will start? Any idea? Which one you will tomorrow you go for interview, no class. Okay, I mean next class we are discussing.